Today, I want to discuss about loss. Especially nowadays, the world is turbulent and many people experiencing loss of loved ones, maybe lost job, and the loss steady that normally what we think this is my source of happiness, security, protection, place something that I can engage and give me some happiness, benefit for you to have warm and source of refuge. But normally, of course, life is impermanent, change all the time. So then we will experience unexpected surprise. So this is what we call the opposite of impermanence. We have the grasping of consistency, or sometimes what we call we don't want to have unexpected surprise. And most of the thing that comes in our life that cause us problem, suffering, is the unexpected surprise. So, of course, when we embrace, when we connect with it, impermanent, our mind become more open and more flexible. But at the beginning, we feel a little bit more insecure, impermanent, what? Change? It's so depressing. In the beginning, when I begin to learn impermanent, I feel like it's depressing. But actually, eventually, it's quite really strong, actually. When I really face difficult problem, the acceptance of impermanent become very strong. That become my supporter. That become source of safe place in a way. And not only that, that accepting life is like wave of the ocean changing. It gives me to see different opportunities, different new doors, different possibilities. Otherwise, you just fix with the one steady. And then there's no room for creativities, possibilities to see the new opportunities. Of course, in my life, I lost a lot, especially when I was young. My father is really wonderful, he is one of the best father in a way. He's very kind and really guide me. And not only he's my father, also my teacher. I'm very lucky, normally what I just being born and there's a teacher and father both. Buy one, get one free. But of course, everything impermanent. He's getting old and one day he died. So the moment of he died, I was there and I was really feeling shocked, like my spiritual teacher, my entire life father is gone now. But then at the same time, I remember his teaching. His teaching about how to accept impermanence. And impermanence not just gone, finished, but it is coming, it is happening, it's a potential. So I really try to work with that feeling of losing, feeling of grief. And then I feel in a way more alive than just my father's physical body there. His teaching with me alive. And I never felt separate. So I think this kind of like practice, this kind of teaching I learned since childhood. Like sometime, I learned this from my grandma. I was maybe 6 years old. And I made some kind of like mud temple, sand castle made by sand and mud, and then the bridge, and suddenly collapsed. And I was crying, my temple is gone. And my grandma said, "Oh, that's impermanence. One day you will die too, you know." So, so I think I had panic attacks, and I learned how to let go of my happy, innocent, that really normal life. So when the panic comes, very difficult. So the moment when I really learn how to live with the panic, panic become my friend, panic become my teacher. And also, I went wandering retreat in the mountains, on the street, and money, all the money finished, and beg food, almost die. And that's a little bit too much, but I let it go, but not give up. And actually, I learned a lot. So normally what we call, whatever happened in our life, sometimes some things you cannot really change. Sometimes what we call natural suffering. We are getting older. It's bad news, sorry to tell you, but we need to accept it. But when we accept that, it's okay. Actually, we feel more relieved, more happy. So every life, when you are young, you have different opportunity, different possibility. When you are adult, you have different possibility, different opportunity. When you are elder, there's a different possibility, different enjoyment, different life experience. So if you enjoy all this moment, feel very happy. But if you only stuck with the young, then you cannot see the great opportunities, experience, possibilities of the different age. So these nature things, we need to accept it. Of course, sometimes the life is up and down, and when you face reality, it's very difficult. I understand that when we lost someone, especially really our loved one or your job or something really dear to you. I'm not saying it's easy, oh, you just accept that and then nothing happened, not like that. Of course, it's very difficult. I understand that. But at the same time, really important for me is just that belief, just notion that, try to accept that and learn from that, grow from that, transform from that is really important. So normally what we call, maybe there are some things that you cannot change, like getting old, you cannot change. But what we can change is we can work with fear of getting old. We can transform that. So therefore, I'm really encourage you to transform all this feeling as friends of awareness, love and compassion and wisdom. So this is our innate quality of love and compassion, wisdom, awareness, always with us. And this can take anything as transformation, sometimes what we call alchemy. So the story that the alchemy liquid touch any iron, they can become golden. So by awareness, love and compassion, wisdom can transform any strong emotions, including my panic attacks. Thank you.